Okay, so Dallas is going through a freeze right now, which means that some of my employees are working at home, or a lot of my employees are actually off today. And it's really rare that I actually get this time for myself to make things for myself. I'm always surrounded by a lot of people, and just the nature of running like a photo studio, we have people coming in and out all of the time, which is fine because I love a fast-paced life. But I am working on getting more time for myself. So I just wanted to try something different and record a video by myself, no team, no one is recording this, it's just you and I. And of all of the beautiful places that I have curated in our photo studio that I thought that I would be using, of all of the places that I have, I am trying it out in my closet because I feel the most comfortable in my closet. And I figured, you know what? Let's try doing something comfortable. So I have my pear snack with tahini on it, my beverage of choice, and I'm in my comfy clothes. I'm in my closet. My closet is in some kind of way like a sanctuary for me because I have more control over it. I may be a little bit OCD about it, but anyways, I wear all black. This is my closet. I am very particular about it, and I really enjoy putting things in order. Each one has a home, so I know exactly like where it is. And I find that I spend a lot of my time in here. This is the only kind of space that I have that's really just mine, and a place that I can really it just really feels like me. And in some ways, I guess I'm kind of like a little bit of a Chihuahua because they love smaller spaces, right? So eventually I will shoot more out in other spaces, but right now I want to try what it's like to just talk in here. I have always been interested in some kind of way. I love personal branding. However, it's weird because I have been a photographer for about 15 years. While I do push my personal brand out there, it was only recent where I was able to separate my actual photography multimedia business, Tran Creatives, and separate it from my personal identity. So like my Tran personal brand. They fall under the same umbrella, but they are separate. And now that I have finally done that, I feel like I can finally pursue a little bit more of like my dreams of really just being able to be who I am and getting paid for that, and still continuing to work and do like creative things. So for like the last 15 years, I've been shooting for a lot of people. I help other people with their personal brands. I help other businesses tell their stories through photography and video. And I also work in journalism. So I am always here to tell other people's stories, and I'm finding that I have a hard time telling my own story. And I just know that like with the way things are headed like on the internet, I think everyone should have a personal brand. And that's why I'm like, okay, that is it. I have no more excuses. I really need to invest into myself. So I recently hired a content creator for my team. This person helps me film all the things that I am doing, all the work that I do for other people, so that you can see what I do from behind the scenes, and I'm just recording the work that I do. I know I do want to go more into my personal branding this year, and that means just like getting more comfortable of like talking in front of the camera. It's, I never thought that I would really have to push myself to be in front of the camera. I love the internet. I love seeing other people be who they are on the internet. And I love helping other people feel beautiful in front of the camera. So it's kind of fun to like start experimenting and exploring that side for me as well. It is the year of investing into myself, doing things scared, and just really just reintroducing myself to myself, or learning more about myself, because I know like as humans, creating is what makes us human. And that is when I feel the most fulfilled, is when I'm creating something for myself and not or anything else, But this is mainly for me. YouTube is my playground, and I should not be scared to play because that's all I want to do. So that's what I'm trying to balance right now, is the business side and now my personal side, because this YouTube thing and this like personal brand thing, that takes up a lot of time. So I now have to kind of sacrifice a little bit of my time to put into this, which I'm really excited about because I have been wanting to be here on the internet for so long. And I know some of you guys have already followed my journey through Instagram for a decade. but this time I have a lot more intention in what I'm putting in, and I am just really craving the same connection that you are. And I realize that I may have to be the one to make the first move. So my move is being here and trying to talk to you through something that just feels so unnatural, looking into one big eyeball lens, you know? But because it's new for me, it's gonna take a little bit of time for me to open up as well. So you and I are just gonna have to get to know each other a little bit better over time. And I'm excited to just kind of record my journey a little bit more in my personal branding. I want to show you what it's like to be a photographer, videographer, or a creator first, and now moving and going towards having a personal brand. So like an example would be, all right, so a lot of my bread and butter is in food and hospitality, which I love doing. Another story, another time. But I have been shooting food for a long time, and I am a big foodie, and that's just something that I'm recently like showing people. So now I still do my photography work for food, but now I also kind of do these like food reviews that I just put my own little touch and spin onto it. And I've been practicing more and more and speaking into the camera, and it's been kind of fun because it really just comes down to editing. It comes down to chopping up all the most awkward parts, throw some music on there and make it way cooler, and just not being afraid to like repeat myself, because I know that I have to start telling my story more and repeating my story over and over as it continues to evolve. So if you're following along to see what it's like to already be a creative of some sort, to already be some sort of creator. So if you're following along, you're going to see what it's like to be a creator first, like a photographer or videographer, and now like stepping onto the other side of the camera and being a little bit more personal. Let this be something that we both look back and reflect on and see what the difference is. So I just figured, let me try being really comfortable. I have a lot of time for myself today, and I want to spend it with you and practicing and just being able to be who I am and learning to speak my truth, finding my voice, figuring out how to tell my story. This is going to be a journey. This is a whole process. So if you're going through this too, where you want to start a YouTube channel or you want to connect with other people through making media, follow along, because I will let you know what I learn, and we will look back on all of this and see what the difference looks like. It's like really hard for me to get outside of my head because I've been running this business alone in a sense for a long time. So I haven't had a lot of people to talk to about these kind of things. And I wish there was more of like a support group for people like me who are already in their like media profession, but want to figure out what it's like to focus it on you, on yourself. Ultimately, this is where freedom is going to come from. You know, I do a lot of my work in Dallas, so I have to be there. I have to show up on the shoot to make money. Like, that's my job. Like, that's my thing, which I am so lucky to be able to do for this long. And now I just want to play more. I just want to have a little bit more fun. I'm in a chapter of my life where I have been able to stabilize my company. I finally have like a real home that's mine that I would have never imagined having. I have a partner who's making like chicken noodle soup right now. So sweet. While I'm in my closet talking to people, talking to you. Yeah, I am also just kind of like sitting here and trying to let myself feel what it's like to have this moment for myself here in this space. It takes a lot of mental energy to just do, but there's a couple of tips that I have written down so far from everything that I just see on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram on like building a personal brand. So these are the things that I'm going to be thinking about. I know my story. However, I haven't done enough reflection to how that story has evolved now to where I am today. Okay, so, and now you want to step in front of the camera and it feels kind of awkward and weird, even though you've helped other people do it. I want those people to feel like they are not the only ones that feel so awkward stepping in front of the camera. And it's like, everyone kind of goes through this. There's all these stages of like, oh, I don't want to be cringe, or I don't want to be weird, but like, there are billions of people on this earth, and if I promise to show you who I am, then I know that those who vibe with me will vibe with me. And I know that there's a piece of pie, a sliver group of people out there that we're like the same. We already have a career, but we want to change our career. You know, we love technology. We love creating and making art, and also being interested in everything else in life, like drumming or thrifting or wellness and mindfulness. Let's keep getting to know each other. Do you ever just start pressing record on your camera and then your entire personality just evaporates? Okay, we can identify with that, because that's how I feel a lot of the times. And most of the time, I have a team member that is helping me film, and we're usually filming while I'm doing some of my photo shoots though. So we're like out in public. I'm also like thinking about what I'm doing for my photography and not just like worrying about what I say to the camera as much. So know that you understand if we both feel that way. So another tip is trying to talk to everyone is pretty much talking to no one. We do this because we're afraid of being polarizing, or we're afraid of being judged, or we're just afraid of like stirring something up, or at worst get canceled. But if you don't have an opinion about something, then I think it's hard for people to understand where you stand. And I feel like something that I try to keep in my mind is what you say no to makes you who you are. So if you don't know where to start, think about that. I would love to be someone uplifting that you can talk to. Somebody that's like uplifting, but also like honest about what we're going through. I think I want to be more open about my struggles of figuring out how to do this whole new like personal brand thing. This video is different from all my other videos because this is not filmed or scripted. This is just me talking. And actually I'm just kind of like a little paranoid, but I'm gonna check if I'm actually even recording. Okay, thank God, I've been recording. Okay, that's like 20 minutes of me just like talking, and I don't know if I can do that again, man. So I have a couple things I need to answer quickly, but less presenting and more sharing. And everyone always says like, think about it as you're like talking to a friend, right? I don't know, that doesn't necessarily help. But when they say, think about talking as if you're FaceTiming someone. Okay, so FaceTime content is what we're making. It's the companionship content that we're making. I may not be providing a lot of value right now because I'm still trying to figure out my own value and figuring out what to give out there. But I am just hoping that through my example of the journey that I'm going through gives you an idea of what it takes. And I'm lucky I'm not necessarily starting from scratch because I have created a brand over time. I just haven't been as clear about my brand as I'd like to be. And I finally have the bandwidth to invest into myself and invest into this era of my life. And I know that it's time for you to do it too. So don't wait until you're ready. I have done this. I've tried doing this video like many times within this last year. And either the audio was messed up or it just took so much confidence and energy and to put into even creating and doing this. So I know what it feels like, even though you already probably are a professional at shooting other things and other people, but now it's about you. A lot of my vlogs are selfish content right now just because I'm just trying to get used to a content calendar and I'm still creating a system. So maybe my messages aren't there fully yet, and I'm just double dipping by recording what I'm already working on. So my vlogs are like just a itinerary with visuals, you know, and I try to give tips on there. I'd love to spend more time on like creating a script or being more cinematic or just having more time to put into it. But right now I'm recording what I'm doing for work because your girl has a lot to make sure I cover my team, the business, and our dreams. And now I am finally on YouTube, and I feel like this is gonna open up so many opportunities, and I'm like so optimistic, and I see other creators out there just like living their life. I want to do the same. I want to live my life too, but I also know that I want to be careful about burnout. You know, I don't want content creation to be the new trap of 9 to 5. So I am approaching this with kindness for myself, patience and experimentation, and just a lot of practice and just being open-minded. And I'm doing this with an open heart. Okay, a creator of some sort, and also wanting to really take your personal brand seriously this year, then you and we need to talk, because I'm also curious to see what some of your struggles are. And I think most YouTubers give advice on their journey when they're already like successful. So this is kind of different because I am not a successful YouTuber. I am successful in other things in my life that I want to implement into this side. This is more of watch me fail or succeed. Learn from me or learn from my mistakes. And I don't want to do it alone. So if you're doing the same thing and going through the same thing right now, and this is your like 3rd month on YouTube, or you haven't started yet, we're like on the same level right now. So let's talk. Tell me what you guys are trying to deal with and what you're trying to overcome, so that I know what to share. But other than that, I'll just share with you guys the struggles that I go through. It really comes down to just like, oh no, I don't want to be cringe. It's so awesome that some of you guys have like started a TikTok or like a YouTube channel, like didn't tell anybody about it and then like blew up. That's really cool, because that does take a lot of weight off. But at the same time, I don't want to throw away everything that I've already invested into, which is like the community that I've already built on Instagram or Facebook through all these years. And I know that I'm really thankful and appreciative that you're now moving with me to YouTube. Yeah, I'm Kathy Tran, and I am a photographer, CEO of a multimedia company. And YouTube is my playground right now. So I came here to play. At work, they say, oh, she don't play. But right now, I play. You're probably wondering what this is. This is just a plastic covering because the Topo Chico bottle doesn't have the cover, and I just don't want any like dust or anything weird getting into it. So I love having it covered, and that way I actually finish all of my Topo, and it's not just like half bottles laying around and I don't finish them and I'm like, oh no, that's like such a waste. So I do this too so that I can just like put it back into the fridge and keep it chilled. Yeah, I don't always find like the bottles that have the twistable caps on there. So, trying to have like healthier snacks, so like pears. So good. I need a tissue. Yeah, so I had bun bo hei earlier and now pears, and then I'm gonna have chicken noodle soup that my man is making. Anyways, I hope you guys got a better sense of like where I'm going with this channel. See you next time. Thanks for coming by. I will see you on the next one. Lights off, save battery.